I'm testing out the new Instinct right now, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe I've gone this long without a disc like it.
Alrighty, guys, Johnny Disc Golf here with coverage brought to you by OTB. I am here with Eagle McMahon at the Las Vegas Challenge, last year's champion. How you feeling coming into the event?
I'm feeling good. This is actually like a pretty cool feeling. I've never had a feeling like this as defending champion going into an event of this caliber. So I'm excited, getting practice rounds in, and if it feels like my course.
I would definitely agree. I think myself and a lot of people out there would say that your game does lend itself well to a course like this. Would you, care to comment on your game relative to the course?
Definitely. I definitely enjoy throwing over steel plastic very hard, and this course allows for that, both forehand and backhand. So just a lot of distance to bite off, but it also has a fair amount of out of bounds, and I feel like I can navigate that pretty well and still get down the fairway a long ways. So I love it.
Cool. Last year, they didn't have the Cloud Breaker out yet. You were throwing PD2s. Last week at WTO, Wintertime Open, you mentioned that you'd felt handicapped throwing PD2s before. That's just uncomfortable for me to even hear. But how do you feel like the Cloud Breaker, the DD3, has affected your game?
I'd say in a positive manner. It's a little touchy for me in certain wind situations, so I really have to be aware of that. Make sure I'm throwing it downwind or just not throwing it quite as hard, just the angles. But I mean, for forehands, rollers, it's definitely gonna come out of the bag quite a lot. And when it does come out of the bag, I feel like I'm gonna get extra distance, which will be amazing.
Great. So last year you took it down. Obviously, you took down a few more events after that. Are you looking to get off? I mean, obviously looking to win, but you're looking to really start hot again this season?
Um, of course, that sounds great, what you just said. But for me, it's mostly about just taking one event at a time and making sure that every moment out there, I'm taking control and giving it the best I can.
Okay. So recent events in Discmania, they did have the announcement, like your hat would suggest. The evolution is real, and they're going to be starting to spread out their manufacturing needs. Does that affect you as a sponsored player at all, or is that just something that's a little bit more on the marketing, maybe sales side?
The only way it's going to really affect me is the potential molds that I'm throwing. I mean, it's a really big move for Discmania and disc golf in general on the manufacturing kind of nerdy side of it. But I probably won't have any new molds in my bag until probably the earliest April. But I'm testing out the new Instinct right now, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe I've gone this long without a disc like it.
Oh, break it down for me. The instant. What kind of disc is it? I actually haven't even heard of it myself.
It's a fairway driver. It's either 7, 8, or 9 speed. Really controllable. Those of you who don't know, it's very similar to a second run FD in flight. So you can smash on it hard. It goes straight. A little bit of fade at the end. Just kind of that dreamy fairway driver that everyone thinks about.
Hey, you can't say second run FD lightly, okay? People go crazy for that.
This is the closest we've come. It really is.
Oh, that's good to hear. Are you going to be throwing it out here? Or do you have it in the bag right now, or you just been fooling around with it?
I'm just fooling around with it now. I can't throw it until there's 500 available to the general public, and right now there's not. Okay. So I think we're planning the release to be in April. So I'm a ways out from being able to bag it.
Okay. Well, this week we are starting with a little bit of an oddity as far as tournaments go. It's quite cold out here. The winds are going to be howling. Is there anything maybe going through your head when we're thinking about playing in conditions like that?
Really, it's about preparing myself. Shout out to Disc Golf Strong. He's actually on site here with his own workout studio. So before every single round, he's going to be helping me as well as his other team members warm up, get our bodies feeling right. And this is going to be a huge help. Also, other things to think about, keeping the hands warm is essential. I bought a big pack of hand warmers today, so I'm going to have those firing on all rounds. And just staying warm and keeping a good attitude.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned Seth Muncie over at Disc Golf Strong. I know that 2 years ago, or not this last offseason, but the offseason before, you went over to Europe and did a pretty intensive workout training program. Was that something you tried to focus on again this offseason? And if so, could you kind of run me through that?
Yeah, I had another opportunity to go to Switzerland, but certain things didn't line up how they did in 2018. But this year I chose, or yes, this past offseason I chose to stay at home and kind of take the discipline upon myself to make sure I got out of bed every day, did workouts, and I was training at 2 gyms, nothing really disc golf related, but really focusing on functional movement, strengthening my joints, just so I become a little bit less prone to injuries out there. And luckily I did put on a little bit of weight, so that was just a little bit of bonus. But yeah, just really focusing on being in the best shape you can for the disc golf season, so you don't have some freak injury keep you out of the tournaments.
Yeah, I think that especially nowadays, you're seeing a lot of the pro disc golfers leaning more towards, really focusing on the body and the physical aspect of it. Are you seeing any like real time results in your game?
I'd say the biggest positive is recovery time and just the endurance side of it. Being out on the course and not getting tired, that is amazing. Like, so many people I see, like, at the last hole they're feeling winded and they're saying, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm so hungry," and I'm like, no, let's play another round. So yeah, I think that aspect of it's really strong, and waking up the next day and not feeling crazy sore, just getting back out there and being able to perform against the biggest aspects from it.
Great. Let's one last question. Kind of get back to the event as itself. This event does have 3 courses to prep for. It's kind of a unique, really. I think it's the only tournament we play all year that has 3 courses. How do you feel about having to practice and kind of dial in 3 as opposed to maybe 1 at other tournaments?
It's definitely a little bit more difficult, especially I played the Wintertime Open, so I'm coming here and I only have 3 days to practice, so I have to dedicate 1 day to each course, whereas any other tournament, I'm trying to get at least 2 on each course, so you kind of have to make some sacrifices there. And what I think of is everyone out here, they're probably only playing 1 course as well, so it's not ideal, but what you have to do is you have to make the best out of the situation. When you're on the holes, make sure you make a mental note of each hole and make sure you're ready going into the event. So it takes it's a little bit more mental than anything. And yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll get you out of here pretty quickly. Is there anything that you'd like to say to your fans or supporters or anybody out there rooting for you this weekend?
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys out there. You guys are super supportive over the off season. Nothing but kind words. And yeah, I just want to shout out Discmania, Grip Equipment, Disc Golf Strong, and Whale Sacks.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here from Eagle, last year's champion and hopeful for this year's champion. For all things coverage of disc golf, check out my YouTube channel. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this interview. As you can see, the weather has turned sour here in Vegas, but what is not sour is onlythebestdiscs.com. They've been instrumental in allowing me to get on the road full time, so go check them out on their website, otbdiscs.com. They list the flatness and firmness of every disc, as well as a $350 flat rate shipping. Go show them some love.